absence then of Nigel Benn and the entourage from London, agent Ambrose Mendy in front there, and trainer Vic Andretti, former British champion. He's been training this fellow down in Florida and then finishing his workout in Atlantic City, and I must say he did look impressive. But the weight is rather surprising for Benn. He came in at 11 stone 4. He was 11.8 and a quarter here when he defeated Sanderline Williams last December, 10-round split decision. So the entrance now of the defending champion, Doug DeWitt, in this attractive showroom at Caesar's Palace on the boardwalk. Well, of course, this fella's never lacked confidence, although it must have dented his pride. It's certainly not his purse money when he lost to Michael Watson. So here's Doug DeWitt. And a real tough nut, I promise you. He's been right through the mill, this fella. He used to spar with Marvin Hagler when he was just 18 years old. Went the full distance with what he considers a peak Tommy Hearns, and the parading of the WBO belt among the many that seem to be available today. But it's all about whether it's a good match or not. Doesn't matter which organisation recognises it.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, from Caesars, Atlantic City, let's get ready to rumble! For the WBO Middleweight Championship of the World. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, he's wearing the black trunks and weighs an even 158 pounds. He comes to us from England. His professional record, 25-1, 23 of his 25 victories by KO. Ladies and gentlemen, the Dark Destroyer, Nigel. And his opponent fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks with white trim. He weighs an even 160 pounds from Yonkers, New York. His professional record, 32 victories, 19 by KO, and 6 defeats and 4 draws. Ladies and gentlemen, the WBO Middleweight Champion of the World, Doug DeWitt.
So referee then, former heavyweight Randy Newman, who was in that somewhat controversial stoppage of Carl the Truth Williams and Mike Tyson, although we all thought he was in order. He's refereed some IBF fights in London and also in the North.
Two things. Number one, defend yourselves at all times. Number two, obey my commands. Now shake hands and come out yourself. Shake hands.
Well, that was firm enough, wasn't it? I think the fighters can understand that, and being an ex-boxer himself, he understands how they feel. So here's this fellow. He's had 6 wins, by the way, in the first round. He's also had 6 losses on his record, DeWitt. Up and down career in many ways, but this is the biggest purse he's ever earned. Now, what's going to be the game plan for Nigel Benn? Is he going to come out firing as we saw him do so many times? 23 stoppages, remember, and his 25 wins. DeWitt generally has been a mixture of a boxer fighter. When the chips are down, he can stand there and slug out. Apparently he's earning more money than the whole of his career now, Doug DeWitt, so that's obviously inspired him to go on and get more defences of this WBO version. I know it's not recognised in Britain yet, but the fighters don't care. It's what sort of money they can draw.
Let him go. Let's watch him. Let's watch him.
Oh, he's cut over the left eye there, DeWitt, and Randy Newman said just watch it. There was obviously a clash of heads there. He's cut around the left eye, Jim, isn't it?
Yeah, well, the referee was warning them for something. I don't know if a head landed. They were banging around up close, and then DeWitt come away with blood coming from his eyes. But that's the best possible start for Benn, the worst possible for DeWitt.
Well, we thought it was going to be a rough fight, and it turned out to be that way. DeWitt's always been a slow starter, Benn a fast starter. 12 in the first round. Could he possibly do it here? He's got to throw his best punches and get them in the right spot to knock this fellow over, because he climbs up a lot. But he's hurt, DeWitt. Sort of battle, Jim, they're not going to keep up for 12 rounds.
Well, this is the way we wanted Ben to start. We didn't want him to start there circling and trying to box. What lifts him above most fighters is his punching power, and already he's shaken the champion, he's cut the champion, so a lovely start for Nigel Benn.
So maybe coming in at 11 stone 4 as against 11.8 1/4 his last fight. That suited Ben. Certainly trainer Vic Andretti has nagged him a lot, and Newman's telling to Ben to mind his ways a little bit there. I think, as you can see clearly, the blood streaming down DeWitt's face.
The cut seems to be towards the side of the eye, so that's slightly better news for DeWitt, but it just depends how badly cut he is, how deep it is.
Countdown then for the first round. And it's some battle already, isn't it? Had to be. And Ben's catching him with his best shots and still can't get him over, though. Well, it's a question of getting your breath back here. Ralph Citro working in the corner there. He's the cut man, as they call him in boxing.
Dougie, listen up. Dougie, listen up, all right? You got to use your... Hey, ref!
He's complaining he can't see, and Tommy Gallagher, the trainer's calling out to Randy Newman, hey ref, that was a butt.
You got to use your right hand, you're only using one hand, though. Give him some water on the top.
Well, they're certainly looking a bit bothered in the corner there, Jim, the cornerman.
Yeah, well, they're entitled to be. That's a bad round for the champion. He was rocked a couple of times by Ben's left hooks. He's come back with a cut over his eye, and Ben must have gone back to his corner with a lot of confidence after that opening round.
Come on, you got to use your right hand.
He's the challenger, but suddenly he must be feeling pretty champion at the moment. That was a good first round for Nigel Benn.
You got to stay on the stool. You got to use your right hand, Dougie. Let's go. This is for the title. Concentrate. Use your right hand. Jump on him. Come on, baby.
As Jim Watt said, a good start there for Nigel Benn, obviously.
Now let's stop holding, let's fight.
Well, this is a fight, Jim, that Nigel Benn has always told his management that he fancies, that he's always wanted to fight DeWitt because he's not the hardest guy in the world to catch. As you can tell by that somewhat flat nose that he's got, which he says when he retires he's going to have it remodeled.
I'm surprised at the way DeWitt is leaving his head up in the air so often. He's been nailed a couple of times already by left hooks, and his corner didn't say anything about that. They didn't tell him to get his chin down a little bit closer. But quite often he's leaning back from Ben's punches, and that's very dangerous.
And then he got in the inset there, the way they were working with the rubber gloves in the corner. That's the medical commission make their seconds wear those now. Well, he's catching him with his appropriately Sunday punches here, Ben. What a tough nut he is, though. He takes some stopping, Jim, doesn't he?
Yeah, but I don't think you can take too many of these punches. Ben's getting the full power into those punches. Good punches. Most of them are catching DeWitt a little bit high, but they're still good punches.
DeWitt's style has always been to try and break the opponent's heart, and he's often taken a lot of stick early on. But the big form line in Ben's favour is that DeWitt was stopped by Quinones, and Ben knocked out Quinones from Puerto Rico.
See, DeWitt just takes so many chances. He's so careless about his own defence. Even when he's pouring the punches in towards Ben, Ben comes back with a single shot and still has a chance of knocking him out. DeWitt very reckless indeed, Reg.
Well, if he fights with his face, he's going to get in trouble here because Ben, we know, can dig.
Watch your hands.
Continually nagging them about watch the heads, Jim, the referee. Oh! Well, that, as I say, is a turn-up for the book, isn't it? Ben looking so in charge of it. He's looking towards the corner there, OK? If we get the end of the round, if it had gone down later, the count would have continued even if the bell went. Now that was a shock. What a slugging match this has been now. Benn's been through this before, not only with Michael Watson, but with Anthony Logan when he had to get off the deck to win. And the crowd standing up, and he's very much a hero in this country, of course, Doug DeWitt. He's always like Billy the Kid round the corner, waiting for the guy to come round. Jim, have a look at this replay.
Well, they both threw a punch at the same time, Reg, but DeWitt's was the punch with the power. It landed better. They both seemed to throw the punch. There it goes. DeWitt's landed bang on the chin. Over went Benn. He was still badly stunned at the end of the round, but he come back well, and he started blazing back himself. So there you go. They both threw a punch. DeWitt, although his weight was behind him, still had enough power to knock Benn over with that shot.
Come on. Don't get careless. Stay cool. Come on, sweetheart.
Well, don't get careless. I think this fella, that's his style of fighting.
You didn't do nothing else with it. It's too late. You'll get it next time. Give him a look. Come on, Dougie. Let's go. Look for the right hand. Calm down. You're the best. Come on, baby.
We'll see if Benn's got the recovery powers here now. He's must have been shocked by that, Jim, as you say. He nearly had the edge there, but came off worse.
Yeah, but full credit to Benn. He really come blazing back once he got up off the floor. He went back to his corner, still badly stunned, but his instincts, they got him firing back. But that's given him something to think about. There goes the confident start.
This is going to be some war, Jim. It might be a war of attrition the way it's going. Pre-fight chat, DeWitt to show more or less contempt for what Benn has had to say. He says he hasn't fought anybody yet, certainly not as good as me. I think Michael Watson might dispute that. Not a bad idea, Jim, for Benn to just do a little bit of boxing here, stay a reasonable distance away.
Yeah, well, Benn has the power to hurt the man. He's hurt him twice already in the first round. He just doesn't want to waste too much steam. Oh, good shot from Benn.
Absolutely, but doesn't this fella absorb a punch? As you say, for how long? He did it for 12 rounds with Tommy Hearns, who was then at his peak.
See, DeWitt is not a fellow you want to tire against, Reg. These are good shots. These punches would knock some middleweights down, but DeWitt's taking them, but he can't take them all night long.
Certainly the best of the three fights that Benn has had in this country. And maybe he's hoping to have the glory that Lloyd Hunnigan had in this ring when he defeated Don Curry.
Well, DeWitt hasn't done anything really effective in this round, Reg. Nigel Benn got himself right back into the fight again well after that knockdown.
It's favouring the left hook, I was going to say, but then he cracked a right hand punch in there. Oh, he's down to that. He had to go head first down there. He's right above us on the ropes, and they've actually thrown a sponge with water on there at the trainer. That was against the rules. It won't help him at this stage, I don't think.
DeWitt has no defence whatsoever, Reg.
And the round's nearly over, though. Oh, punches after the bell is being pulled apart there. And some booing from the crowd because Benn was getting stuck in. And they're looking very angry, I must say, the crowd, on their feet, waving their fist at Benn.
We got it. Come on. Be a little.
Now that really was a commanding round. You can't get it much clearer than that for Benn, Jim.
Yeah, well, DeWitt did absolutely nothing all the way through that round, right up to the knockdown. And Benn almost had him out of this. You look at the defence, Reg, non-existent. Head up in the air. Really a very poor attention to defence. Eventually he had to find his way to the floor because Benn was putting power into every punch. Lovely punch here. There he goes, all over the place, badly hurt, and he never recovered in that round. So if Benn can pick up where he left off, see, Benn's really getting the power into the punch because he's coming forward. Great chance of becoming world champion this round, Reg.
So coming out for the fourth round, and with a bit of a controlled fury now, Benn's got a really good shot of stopping this champion. He really is playing goalkeeper at the moment, DeWitt. He's stopping everything.
See, there's nothing in DeWitt's jabs as they come back. DeWitt's going to have to find some power or he's in the way out, Reg.
He almost quit the ring when he was beaten by Sambu Kalambe in Monte Carlo, but then he really showed some form against Matt Hilton and Robbie Sims. But I think some of those tough fights have really caught up with him here, and certainly Benn's making him pay for it now.
Well, Reg, I think some of these punches of Benn's have really taken some of the power out of DeWitt's legs. He doesn't really have any urgency in his work. His legs, no rhythm in his legs. The punches really have been taking their toll. Even now, no defence, look.
Brave to the point of foolishness now, DeWitt. Just pouring with that left-hand punch, that won't bother Benn.
Yep, I think a lot of the fight has been knocked out of DeWitt. There's no snap in his own punches, no snap in his movement. He's obviously still stunned from those earlier punches.
And that's a good performance so far by Benn to come off the floor to do this. It's almost as if DeWitt's stalling for time, Jim, but he can't be doing that. As you say, he can't move. He's rooted to the canvas too much.
No, I just think he hasn't recovered fully from the earlier punches. But look at the carelessness in his work even now. He's been on the floor, he's been on the verge of being knocked out, and still look at the carelessness about his attitude.
Certainly that intense sparring that Benn has had in Miami with top decent fighters and a Russian they brought in as well has served its purpose well.
Well, DeWitt is finding a little bit snap now. That was a good jab he just knocked Benn's head back with. So maybe his head is beginning to clear. But Benn unable to pin him so far in this round.
Punches are too long. Work him underneath.
Well, Vic Andretti's the trainer in the centre there. He must be pleased the way his man's going there. He's been very tough and disciplined, and he's responded to that well, Benn, in training. An old soldier accepts the discipline okay. Slightly nicked around the right eye. We couldn't really spot that, Jim, as the bell went.
No, I don't think there's any problem. That looks like one of these little nicks. Sometimes they're better leaving it alone. But, just maybe a little graze, Reg.
You hear me? Roll all the time. Drop your legs and roll. Jab, jab, jab. Get on top of him, then you throw him too long like that. Get him on. Imagine if you hit him with a jab, you hit him with anything else. Bum, bum, bum. Then come around after.
Well, Victor's getting himself excited there with a little bit of Cockney chat, which I'm sure Ben understands. Out for the fifth. And referee Newman's saying don't come out for work too early.
Well, DeWitt's head seemed to clear as the fourth round went on, and he found a little bit of snap towards the end of the round. But we'll find out here in the fifth just how much he can muster up.
Not that we're particularly concerned about points verdicts at this stage of the game, but there's three American judges. One of them a lady, Barbara Perez, the wife of Tony Perez, referee.
Well, I would say so far, Reg, this is as good a performance that we've seen from Nigel Benn, although he did start well against Watson. Hopefully he'll be able to maintain the pressure tonight.
It's incredible, Jim, the way DeWitt tries to ignore being hit. And yet he's as sharp as a tack to talk to. He's a snappy dresser, the whole bit. But in there he's got this casualness and certain bravery about him.
Well, Benn's punches, still plenty of power in them, Reg. They're just not landing on the chin now. DeWitt's managing to slip or smother them a little bit. But one punch, as we already have seen, can change everything.
You're tied, don't punch that back.
Well, all that sort of carefully nurtured needle seems to have gone there, Jim. They're both having a bit of respect for each other here.
Benn still setting a good pace. I mean, it's been some time since DeWitt had a good burst in the fight. He's really just trying to mess Benn around, just smother his work, but he's not doing too much of his own.
Yeah, and it's a big gamble if he's hoping that Benn will run out of gas.
Right, you're tied. Stop punching. Let him go. Let him out of there. Don't wait for him.
Gets a bit untidy at close quarters, Jim, doesn't it?
Yeah, but still plenty of punches coming, Reg. They're not really clinching, just a little bit wild at times. Benn still throwing good shots.
You hear the timekeeper knocking there to warn the seconds. The round's over, coming up, and to alert the referee to be near them. And he is. Well, the odds here, they don't do too much gambling actually on fights here. Everything else you can get in Atlantic City, but he was about 11 to 8. I would have worked it out on dollar betting. DeWitt as favourite. 8 to 11 on, in other words. Well, he's got to be pleased with himself a bit now, hasn't he, Jim?
Yeah, well, his tactics have been right. He's been pushing DeWitt back all the way, taking the play away from him. He's come up off the floor and come blazing back. So far, excellent performance from Nigel Benn.
That's good. Keep the jab going a bit more.
Being deprived of water there. No. Gunga Din in the corner's not quite doing the job there, Jim.
Right hand right behind, down to the belly. Let's go. Suck it up. Come on, DeWitt, let's go.
Concern there, obviously, from Tony Gallagher in DeWitt's corner. Come on, DeWitt, he says, let's go. As he knows he's hanging about too much, but that's because Benn is pressuring him the whole time and hitting hard. Oh, what punches they are, Jim. Is this the first rock of a landslide now coming in from Benn? It looks like it.
Well, the traded shots there and Benn come off better. That's pretty significant at this stage in the fight, Reg. They both landed the shot, but Benn's was the one that did the damage.
Let him go. Right, come here. Watch your head, Chance.
It's yours, Mark.
But at least Benn now has had the experience of a couple of 10-round fights, which he needed to get under his belt, as they say in boxing. So he really shouldn't be troubled by the distance, but he can always be troubled by DeWitt's punches. Oh, that one was the one that got away there, Jim, almost caught the lights.
Let him go.
Yeah, there was a nice punch, Reg. Nice idea, bringing one up through the middle. Just missed his whisker. Benn boxing quite controlled, which is good to see. He's not wasting so many punches, not so wild as we've seen him.
No, it's good stuff.
Let the right hand come. That's it.
repeat myself, Jim. He's so much better in this fight than he was against Sandline Williams, Ben. And before that against Jorge Amparo in American rings.
Come on, big guy. Take what he gives us. Come on, go. Keep the
What else has Ben got to do, Jim, now to try and get this fellow over? I mean, he's really nailed him with some good punches.
He just has to keep doing what he's doing, but just remember it's 12 rounds we've got tonight. The last thing he wants to do is run out of steam against DeWitt. He looks stronger, he looks sharper than DeWitt. All he has to do is to keep strong, don't waste punches. But he is pretty controlled at the moment.
Had good schooling, remember, Ben, ABA champion. Only lost one decision to Rob Douglas, and then he reversed that.
Well, the first decent punch for a while from DeWitt. Ben just took it and marched on forward. Another good sign.
One, two, boom, boom. 1, 2. The jab is working. Stay with it. How do you feel, champ? Come on.
How do you feel, he says? I would think not too clever at the moment, Governor.
Get down with this guy. Jab, right hand.
So they obviously know he's behind all right, Jim.
Dougie, he's giving you the jab, take it
trying to
all
kid
day.
themselves, are
Then
they?
let the right hand go.
All the panics in DeWitt's corner. The Ben corner look nice and calm. They're happy with what's happening, and so would I be. Nice and calm in this corner.
Come on. Come on, big guy. Come on. Spoon the jab, the right hand. Come on.
You start up the pace. So when you go with it. Body work. Let's go to the way. Let's on the chin.
Out for the 7th round. And to remind you then, 12 rounds for the World Boxing Organisation Championship. One of the added itself to the other 3 ruling bodies at the moment.
Well, Ben hasn't allowed DeWitt to come forward for any time in the fight so far, and that's one of the reasons he's been so successful. He's really been dictating the action and really has been boxing well up to now.
Obviously, Ben would just love to knock this guy over, but I think he'd be more than pleased to get such a clear points decision anyway. But there's still plenty of time. Second half of the fight now.
DeWitt trying to come forward now, Reg. This is badly what he needs to do if he wants to hang on to this title.
Tommy Gallagher, that is, the corner man for DeWitt, who's really been sweating. So the smaller contingent, obviously, of British fans or London fans who were waving some George flags early on, they're happy with it.
The title's yours.
And I can hear Gallagher saying, you're not making him pay DeWitt, you're just grabbing after you're throwing punches.
See, DeWitt doesn't look as though he has anything left tonight, Reg. He just seems to be going through the motions. There's no snap in his work. Ben obviously beginning to tire a little bit. He's put out a lot of work tonight. But DeWitt still out, bang on the chin from Ben. Good shot from Ben.
To see Ben working out, Jim, as you've seen with the calisthenics, as they call it, the groundwork the trainers call it, is absolutely tremendous. As strong as anything. Oh, I mean, caught him flush, square on, right on the chin there, Jim, and just still didn't shift. I mean, that's remarkable.
Reg, I don't know what keeps this man on his feet. That was a tremendous shot.
Show yourself, Nigel.
And DeWitt was telling us before the fight, well, I don't think Ben can hurt me. In fact, I'm sure he can't. Well, said he could have fooled me.
Benn looked as though he twisted his knee or something there, Reg.
Yeah, he did. I couldn't work that one out.
He pulled a funny face as he turned there, Reg. I hope we're not going to see something happen to Nigel Benn, either in his leg or in his mind here.
Shoulder. He's a bit too wild. Yeah, it's all right.
Well, they don't seem to be asking him. We can't hear anyway, Jim, whether his leg is okay.
Keep working a bit, yeah, but love it left, did you know, more big, and also...
I wonder maybe if his ankle turned as he missed badly there with a punch. Maybe his ankle twisted.
He said you heard him say, I'm all right there, and the referee just had a check as well.
On top. That's good. You keep working, that's good. When he starts to move, if you keep moving, that's good. You keep doing that.
Obviously starts sucking in a bit more air now, Jim, at this stage of the game.
Yeah, well, Benn is beginning to feel the pace a little bit himself, but he still has a bit more life in him than DeWitt is showing.
Right cross over the top. Short. The shoulder is running too long. And to the body. Work the body this way.
So work to the body this round. Throw punches to the body, says Andretti for his man Ben, and certainly he's done a good job anyway. Just keeping Ben controlled more fighting. Oh, a good shot, a punch. I don't think he's going to get up from that. He's been known to get up before, but oh, that was a punch. And he's pitched forward again at the start of the 8th round. And it's 7-8.
Do you want to fight?
Do you want to fight, says Randy Newman. And of course, the witness says yes, but it's all over bar the shouting, Jim.
DeWitt has nothing. I don't believe he can recover from this, Reg.
I think the WBO have got a 3 knockdown rule in existence here. More control and it'll all be over. Yes, that's it. It's all over. 3rd knockdown. And in the 8th round, Nigel Benn has won the WBO Middleweight Championship of the World. The Iron Man was tamed, and what a picture that is. Almost identical when Lloyd Hunnigan in this ring defeated Don Curry. Same sort of reaction from his camp as well. Tremendous performance, Jim, and a good finish.
Nigel Benn was the better fighter right from the opening bell, Reg. He did it the hard way, come up off the floor, come blazing back, took the play away from DeWitt at every turn. I don't know that he actually lost a round. Wonderful performance, perfect. A few questions were asked about Nigel Benn, but I think he's answered most of them today.
Well, certainly Britain have had a long run at the moment of losers in World Championship fights, and whether we want or the Border Control want to recognise this or not, I don't know. But let's see the finish, Jim, again.
Well, that was the left hook, that was the one. Benn hit him, but he hadn't actually reached the floor as the second punch landed, so quite legal. But DeWitt, as you can see, nothing left here.
And there it is again, a real close-up job there. The uppercut came up and caught him, just clipped him there, and he was ready to go. Jim, once more.
I'm surprised the referee allowed it to go to the 3rd knockdown, Reg, because DeWitt obviously had nothing left. He hadn't really had a good round all the way through the fight. The referee, for me, could have called it off after the 1st knockdown.
Take your left hand and touch your nose.
And the doctor's still attending Witt, while Ben is, well, obviously absolutely jubilant. You can imagine that. Picking himself up off the floor against Watson and coming back to win. That's some performance.
Yes, what a marvellous effort. A world title belt for Nigel Benn, showing true grit in getting off the canvas to outslog the champion. And here's the official confirmation.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's the official time. Referee Randy Newman enforces the 3 knockdown rule. The end of the bell comes at 44 seconds of the 8th round for the winner. And new WBO middleweight champion of the world, the Dark Destroyer, Nigel Benn.
Nigel, Britain badly needed a world champion. We've had a bad run. Well done.
Yeah.
But do you think he was going to be in command the whole time the way you were?
No, I didn't. I honestly thought, well, he thought I wouldn't be able to go 12 rounds, but I trained mighty hard for this fight. And I wanted to match him with everything he had, you know, that he was going to throw at me. And I felt really strong. 2 months I've been training. And the other thing is, I haven't spoken to my mum for 3 weeks. I said, well, now I can say, Mum, I said, when I speak to you again, I'm going to be world champion. and the dreams come true.
It's almost like a Rocky film, this, in a way, Nigel. You know, you lose to Watson, you come back and win a world championship.
Yeah.
When you went down, you connected together, and then you went down. To get over that was a good performance. I mean, how were you that badly shaken?
No, what he caught me with was a peach of a punch, accurate, on the chin. I don't even know if it was the left or the right. I think it was the right. But what made me feel good within myself is that I never went to pieces. He hit me with a good shot, but I knew all the time where I was. And, you know, you can't go through boxing without taking a shot. It's like the same punch that Anthony Logan hit me with, a peach of a punch. He hit me, but at all times I still knew where I was.
Yeah. No, I certainly wasn't criticising. I was congratulating you for getting up and then winning, which is important. You know what I mean?
That's
now, how about having a look at the end of that on replay, if we can show it to you? There it is now.
Here's a short one. You wait and see, look. Little short one.
See, the right hand come over the top there, eh, Nigel?
Got me working,
Yeah, when I hit him, we were working on it, and I knew for a fact, Doug DeWitt, if you hit him once, he'll take the punch. So I thought to myself, I've got to try and catch him with a succession of blows. And I'm just so happy that, you know, the last time we had a world champion was Alan Mint, and now whatever happens,